First, we wanted to understand how honeybees are being exposed to neonicotinoids in the field. And we did this experiment where we took 55 honeybee colonies and randomly allocated them to apiaries that are very close to corn and far away from corn. So corn is the main crop that's being grown from neonicotinoid treated seeds in Ontario and Quebec. And what we found was that honeybee colonies are being exposed to sublethal levels of neonicotinoids for most of the season, so 3 to 4 months. And that's a period of time that is longer than most people expected. The second stage of the research was we took the exposure that we found in the field and we kind of replicated it in the lab. So we took honeybee colonies that are kept at our own research apiary and we exposed them to the same neonicotinoid that we found in the field for the same period of time and the same concentration. And when we exposed bees to field uralistic levels of neonicotinoids, we found that colonies were not as healthy. The first big thing we found was that worker bees that were exposed to the pesticides lived about a week shorter. So a typical bee in the summer, worker bee in the summer, will live 4 weeks, but the treated bees lived for about 3 weeks. And that's a big effect, you know, a reduction, almost a 25% reduction in lifespan. So there was this really big debate that's going on about the safety of neonicotinoids. On the one hand, you have lots and lots of researchers taking bees and treating them with sublethal levels of neonicotinoids and finding a range of effects. Differences in worker behavior, learning and memory, mortality, over colony mortality as well as individual mortality, effects on innate immunity and social immunity. But often people criticize these experimental studies by saying that the authors used too much neonicotinoids, or they used the treated bees to neonicotinoids for a much longer period of time that would be found in the field. The big problem is that we actually don't have really good data from the field, so these criticisms went unanswered. So this is where our study was kind of unique in that we studied 6 sites that are near corn for a very long period of time. We tracked them for the whole season, and we were able to monitor the neonicotinoids coming into the colony every month and see how levels change over time. And we found that we essentially found neonicotinoids early in the spring, way before corn and soy are being planted, and we found neonicotinoids all the way up to September, well after the blooming period and the shedding period of corn and soy.